3, 2, 1, liftoff. I don't know if this thing is working, but hopefully it's working. We're live again, and I apologize for my last live session. It froze. My computer froze, so I had a little issue. I'm your host, Mike Pugh of the FEC Virtual Channel, and you're tuning in to YouTube Live. I'm covering different things. Whakairo, which is a 3D, more of like a 3D avatar controller type tool, and I'm covering a little bit about Whakairo, not that much, but I want to show y'all folks how to get characters onto Whakairo, which I already talked about, but I want to do a customized character from another tool known as MakeHuman. And I'm going to cover some of the stuff on MakeHuman that I didn't cover in the past in terms of how to get the assets, 3D assets, because I had somebody come in on one of my videos and ask me about it. They trying to get the actual community, more like it's like a plugin type of thing. It's a community plugin that's tied into the new version of MakeHuman, and they can't get it to work off of their Mac computer. So I wanted to show folks how to get the assets from the community off of the website, which is the old way to do it. It's not that easy. It takes a little time. It's just more like file transfers and stuff like that, and you got to put it in a specific folder on your computer. So I want to cover those type of things. And I also would like to talk a little bit about OBS, but I'll probably try to save that for the tail end because they have an update on OBS. Since I'm using OBS to do YouTube Live, that's basically for those who are brand new. I can talk a little bit about it so y'all folks can learn how to do this stuff. So here goes the live. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm live. And let's go back to the part where I was talking about in my previous video. I was covering a topic about my playlists. So I was talking about my playlist. If y'all folks want to check out some previous versions of Blender, you want to check out how Blender got started, you want to learn Blender in general in terms of 3D modeling, I have a playlist that I created known as Blender, and it has 881 videos in it. Majority of those videos are not mine, so if you want to learn Blender from someone who is more knowledgeable and more expert than I am, most definitely check out this playlist off of my YouTube channel. And I'll show y'all folks. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. This one is by Ducky 3D. He's a really dope 3D modeler / 3D artist. I recommend for y'all folks to go to any of these people that I have in this playlist. It's pretty hardcore. I have tons and tons of videos, like as you can see, 881. And one of the main guys that's out here is he created Polygon. I forgot his name. I'm not really that great with people's names, but I can go to his website real quick. Let me just show y'all folks that. I think it's Andrew Price. I think that's his name. So we go to Blender Guru. If y'all folks don't know about anything dealing with Blender and you want to get into it, I highly recommend for y'all folks to go to blenderguru.com. Andrew Price, he's a really knowledgeable expert in Blender, and that's why his naming of his website, it makes sense, because he is a guru in it. He really does know how to do some awesome stuff, and I've been studying and learning stuff from this website, not too much, because I recently learned about it. I recently got into it. He also has this other location known as Polygon. If y'all folks want to get 3D assets like you can get from MakeHuman, and you can bring it and merge it into Blender. Like when people start on Blender, here goes the Blender website talking about Blender. When people start on Blender, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to know what to do because all they get is a cube when you first start. So you can also get some other primitive shapes like a sphere, you can get a plane, you can get this Suzanne monkey type of looking thing that a lot of people show in their videos starting out, because it's more for like newbies and stuff like that, like myself or like someone else. So what I'm talking about in reference to it is the fact that you can get 3D assets from external locations or third-party locations, which is outside of Blender. So let's go to Polygon, to his actual Polygon website. So let's type that in. Actually, I have to get the naming from this YouTube reference here, because I don't know the name by heart. So it's Poliigon. So Poliigon. So I just typed it into Google just to, just to bring it up. And here it goes right here. Now, actually, I never signed up to this website. I never used any of the polygon materials, the textures, the assets yet. But I do know of it because I've been watching a lot of videos from his location, the Blender Guru actual YouTube channel. So I watch a lot of his stuff, and you can get onto this website and you can gear content from here onto Blender. And he has different locations that he broadcasts that you can use your content about or for, and it's Autodesk 3ds Max, Autodesk Maya, Cinema 4D, and like I said, Blender. So you can pretty much use those differing tools in conjunction with using Polygon. Polygon will give you the assets that you maybe want to use or whatever. That's up to you. So that's pretty dope that you can use a website like that. So I just wanted to talk about that because for those who are getting into Blender, they probably want to have other things to add to what Blender starts out with. There's another tool that I use known as Whakairo. Whakairo, the difference between Whakairo and Blender is that Blender is a full suite for pretty much 3D everything. Whakairo is just a 3D modeling software slash cloudware. Is built into the web browser. Blender is built onto your desktop, so you have to download it to your desktop. Whakairo is something that's online, and it's a 3D modeling software slash cloudware where it's cloud-based. Once you start your account, you get a dashboard. Everything is through your web browser. So you're going to be using it, if you chose to use it, you're going to use it through Google Chrome, or you're going to use it through Mozilla Firefox. So the benefits of using this as opposed to Blender, I would like to say that you can get some really awesome models starting out without having to go to third-party websites or third-party tools to get your content into it. So that's probably why I would like to use this as opposed to using Blender. But actually, in reality, you want to use every 3D software that you have available and work them together in conjunction with each other, so you can build all of the assets that you're looking for to create one final project or multiple projects. That's what I recommend. So I used Whakairo when I first started out in 3D. Actually, when I first started, if you look at my YouTube channel, you can find my path of my learning process. And I started with Adobe, it was Adobe Fuse, and then I went on to Adobe Dimension. So I learned from Adobe Fuse and Adobe Dimension, and Adobe Fuse is a spin-off from the original Fuse site, which I can show y'all folks that as well. Let's go to Fuse, and actually let's just type in Mixamo Fuse. Mixamo is the original Fuse website. So Mixamo Fuse is right here. It's now currently owned by Adobe, but at one time it was owned by the company itself known as Mixamo, but Adobe bought them out a while back. So this is the Mixamo website, and you can use this website pretty much to work on your animations. If you don't know how to do animation yourself, if you don't know how to create character rigs, it will give you an actual rig for your character. And a rig basically is applying digital bones slash an armature to your 3D model, whatever human type of character or robot type of character, but it has to be a biped, meaning it has to have 2 legs, 2 arms, a head, and 2 eyes, etc., and at least 5 fingers. If it doesn't have 5 fingers, it could actually have 3 fingers, or maybe just have like just 2 arms. But having fingers actually works really good with these type of tools, because you can rig the fingers as well. You can get the fingers to move. So when you get your content onto this type of tool, it'll give you the options to go with no fingers, or with fingers, or with some fingers, stuff like that in terms of rigging it. And then when your character's rigged, you don't have to do all the high-tech stuff. You just click. It's more like a clickable options and stuff like that on the screen, and it's pretty cool. So once you get that going, you can move your actual file, which is known as a FBX file, that will be outputted from here or exported from here and then you can import it into Blender. So you can jump back to Blender on your computer, and then you can merge the differing FBX file animations into Blender and create a scene where you're actually starting to develop a project for animation. So that's the kind of stuff that I got into doing. I've been doing it for about going on 7 months. I think it's 7 months now. And month to month to month, I just keep gathering more information, more knowledge. Whatever I get, I pour into these playlists so people can learn from who I learn from. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about me. This is not about me. This is about us. This is about a community growing together. It's about more and more people gaining knowledge. And talking about that, I can communicate with y'all folks, hopefully. Let me check on my smartphone so I can go and check up on a live stream session to see if y'all folks are tuning in. So yeah, man, this is all about community. It's all about learning, you know what I'm saying? So each one teach one. We all build knowledge base together, and you know, we can develop some amazing stuff if we came together as a team too. Slowly but surely, we can communicate, we can collaborate, we can do all kinds of different things. So I'm just one individual right now, but that doesn't mean that FPC Virtual can't become more of like a team effort. You never know. You know, if other people want to team up with me, that's up to those individuals. We can network together, we can communicate together. I have a location, let me show y'all folks real quick, on my channel where y'all can connect to me if you wanted to do that. And of course, my my link here is monetized. Most people on YouTube monetize almost everything they do because they're putting out effort and they're doing something maybe to help add value to someone else's life. So why not get something back in return if you make it monetized, right? So I have this link here, which basically leads to my communicator known as Wow App. Wow App is a really dope tool. Y'all folks don't have to go through me, but you can join on your own. I'll show you Wow App real quick. This is for those who want to network in terms of using 3D modeling, animations. You want to network together. You want to build a team, more like a animation studio per se, or a team covering 3D art, stuff like that. If y'all into all of that stuff, you don't have to use your Facebook. You don't have to use a whole bunch of other communicators that you probably want to keep private. So this tool is really dope for communications. You don't have to put your personal information on it or anything like that. So this is what I got right here. It's known as Wow App. It actually works. To me, I think it works better than WhatsApp. I don't like using WhatsApp, and it's really dope. So I earn money off of it, obviously. Every time I communicate, I earn some pennies, and it's paying out literally pennies per day. It's not paying out that much, so it's not like something that you're gonna get rich quick or anything like that. But you get incentives. They pour in incentives and stuff like that. I built a network of 439 people. So if I have y'all folks, whoever chooses to network with me and communicate with me, join on this. We can go from day to day or once a week communicate on a project or whatever. That's up to y'all folks. So I just wanted y'all folks to know about that. That's off of my actual YouTube channel. And that's what YouTube is for, man. YouTube is for networking. If y'all folks don't know how to use it for networking, you can do that through having these links tied into your YouTube channel through your About section. So it's about community, it's about networking, it's about collaborating, it's about building knowledge with those who you choose to become friends, teammates, whatever, even co-workers. You can work with people, or you can work for somebody who developed a YouTube business. That's up to y'all folks as well. So I just wanted y'all folks to hear about that in terms of, you know, some of the goals that I have in terms of community and becoming more of like a team outlook, team concept. If y'all folks are down to do that, let me know. You can join that and we can communicate off of there. Just let me know that you're coming from my YouTube channel as a, you know, a viewer / subscriber or whatever, and you're interested in collaborating or doing this. But you have to know something about 3D in general in order to do it. So you got to have some sort of a 3D knowledge base background or understanding to be able to do it, or else we'll just be networking about me helping you learn something. That's about it. But if you know how to do 3D stuff, hey, we all could work together. So here we go with Whakairo version beta. Now I wanted to bring out something about it. It's really a dope tool. The thing about it is that it starts off with only one character. And how does it work? It's a more of a 3D avatar controller type of tool that is built into Unity and is tied into Steam. So actually, let me say it a different way. Unity is the tool that they use to construct it and to create it. And then they tied it into Steam, so they built it into Steam. Steam is more of a super powerful tool for gaming. It's a gaming platform, but it's not just for gaming. There's tons of other software that's out there. But if y'all folks never use Steam, I highly recommend for y'all folks to go check it out, because you can find a lot of tools that are pretty profound and pretty amazing, and it can do things that you couldn't imagine that you could or you couldn't do, or you could do, whatever. It can do things that you couldn't imagine. Pretty much, that's what I meant to say. In the live type of sessions like this, you're gonna make a lot of errors, and so just roll right through it. Doesn't matter. It does to some degree, but it doesn't really matter if you flow through and don't let it bother yourself as you still doing your live. So I just wanted to put that out there for those who are trying to get live sessions going. Back to Whakairo. This character, this single character starting out, is the only character that it comes with, and the reason being, what I think in terms of the developers, what they were having in their mind, they were saying to themselves, there is no tool out there that's really going to give the freedom to the creator to actually gear in their ideas, their thoughts, their creativity, infuse it into the screen to come up with their own characters 100%, or to borrow someone else's character that they did that creativity and they can infuse it into the screen and make their character work, or their creativity show. So your creativity with Whakairo would be more like you're sitting behind the camera like I'm doing right now, and you're controlling the character, you're controlling the avatar, you're talking, you're acting, and you're playing as a VTuber. They call them VTubers. So it's really dope in terms of the functionality as well, what you can do with it. You can get the character to move around, and you can move the arms with your hands. When it first came out, you couldn't move the arms with your hands, you had to use your mouse. So I'm going to show y'all folks in future videos, or most definitely in a future video, how that works and stuff like that. I just wanted y'all folks to hear about it, at least hear about it. It's one of the most recent updates. You can read over here, you can go into this beta 1.1.1. It says January 30th is when it was launched. If you go into it and you read it, you can see one of the updates is the iris has iris controls and detection. So it detects your iris of your eyes, and then when you move your eye, it actually moves the iris and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And then this part here has the hand detection update. So as you can see, this guy's hand has a little green dot. The best way to do it is to have gloves. So if you have colored gloves, not no dark gloves, it will detect your colored glove. That's what I did, and I'm gonna show y'all folks that, like I said, in a future video / videos. And it's pretty dope. So just read all these details you see here. If you don't have this running on your machine, I highly recommend for you to try it out. Go on Steam and just type in Whakairo in the search field, and you'll be able to get to it. I'll also try to give y'all folks a link in the in the video's description area of this live session to everything that I'm showing y'all folks, because hey, some people want to get there quicker. They probably don't want to go search on Google or whatever. So other than that, Whakairo, like I said, is really awesome. There's many things that you can do with it in terms of your character ideas and character creation. So what I started out with Whakairo, I started learning how to customize my characters, and I left out something on YouTube where I did not show folks how to actually, how would you say, import / export, the whole porting pipeline for animation. I didn't show that full thing, and I didn't show folks how to customize their characters. The reason why I did that, I left it up to people to try to catch up. I wanted to see how many people can actually come up on YouTube and come up with those videos. And I just wanted to see what the online audience is looking for in terms of this stuff. So I put up a video more along the lines of, it was more like the building blocks of learning on Blender, because you have to learn a lot of stuff on Blender in order to get your character fully customized, unless you're using this other version known as VRM. Some folks know of MMD, the Miku Miku dance models, and that's what this character I believe was. This may have been a VRM model, I'm not sure. VRM, the file VRM stems from a tool known as Vroid. So let me show y'all folks that one. Vroid. And it is not coming up. Let me just type it into Google. Let me shut down some of this stuff real quick. Now, 7 months ago, I didn't know any of this stuff. So keep in mind, folks, I'm somewhat still brand new to a lot of this stuff. So Vroid, let's see, here it is, Vroid Hub, Studio dot whatever. But this is not the actual location. It should be on Steam. So, I don't know why it's not coming up. Vroid. This game may contain content, yada yada. No, that's not it. Let's go to software. We're gonna go to animation and modeling, and we're gonna look for whatever they have available here. So this is basically how I was able to find Whakairo. I just looked through this drop menu where it says software and then animation and modeling. And once I got there, I started just searching and searching until I found something that was really truly interesting to me. And I tried some of the other stuff that was available. Look at that. They have Substance Designer tied in, and they have a lot of other things. Live 2D. I tried this Live 2D, it's pretty cool, but this one says Live 2D Viewer EX. I don't know if I tried that. I don't think I tried that. They even have Blender tied in through Steam, but I don't think they have Blender 2.8 beta. I'm not sure. I would most definitely need to try that. Now, the first 3D software that I loved, and I still love to this day, that I tried on my computer from a download per se and through Steam, was FaceRig. And FaceRig is pretty dope. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have tried it before. And if you haven't tried it, check on YouTube and just type in FaceRig, and you'll see tons of videos that give you an example of how it works. A lot of these 3D animation tools are starting to come out. There's more and more and more, and whoever's creating them, who's doing the development, they're really putting in some passion into these tools, because some of them, they work similar, some of them work better than others. So Vroid is very similar to using the Whakairo, but the difference to me is that you don't pour in your own actual 3D avatars. They have preset designs on Vroid, so that's probably what makes the difference, I should say. I did not see it, so these are top sellers. Let's see what's popular. Browse all-time most popular. Let's go into that and see what comes out with that. So they got FaceRig on the top. They have stream avatars. I'm not sure about that one. I never really tried that. Let's see what else they got. Moto Indie, I never tried that. A lot of this stuff is VR type of software, so you have to have a VR type of computer plus have the VR headset in order to use it. In the 3D arena, there's a lot of stuff dealing with VR. So here goes Whakairo right here. They have 3D Coat. I heard of that and I saw some videos with it, but I did not use it yet. Let's see what else we have here. I just saw Whakairo, so I don't know what happened to the Vroid. Maybe the tool is no longer on Steam. I'm not sure. I tried Flipside Studio. This one requires the headset for VR, so stuff like that. Let's see, I'm just still looking through it. I tried Stage X. That one, I think you need VR as well. Live 3D, this one is pretty dope. This is very similar to Vroid. So let me bring that one up real quick. Highly recommend for y'all folks to try this one, Live 3D. Let me bounce back. I don't know why it did that. It's supposed to give me a actual ability to go external. There we go, open new tab. So I'll leave it like that. And because I tried to right click my computer for some reason, I guess the mouse is having issues. So let's see what else we have and see if anybody, oh, we got 5 people. Thanks a lot folks for showing up. We got 5 people that showed up. We have 3 teen. This is pretty much, if you ever wondered how do people find stuff and where's all this information coming from, how YouTubers come up with YouTube videos, 9 times out of 10 they're on a platform like Steam that has tons of content, tons of software that's built into it that pretty much gives them the heads up on what's the latest updates or what's the latest thing in that arena. So that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. So you just basically gotta be part of that community, part of that tool, and dig in and start trying it and testing stuff out. So if you're into beta testing, or you like trying new stuff and seeing how it works and then going into it, doing your best to figure it out, you can become a how-to creator yourself if you're not into how-to creator type video making. But it's definitely a lucrative type of, it could be a career base, but it starts out as a hobby on YouTube per se, and then over time, you never know, it may grow and expand. Copper Cube 6, I tried that one. A lot of these I did not put out YouTube videos on because I didn't go that far into it, and I don't want to put out something that I really have no knowledge on. We got Motion by Radical. This is pretty dope. I recommend this tool, but I did not try it yet. It's a motion capture type of tool, and the reason why I didn't try it is because they have a trial basis. So it's a charge and a fee associated to a certain amount that you're going to use. In terms of, they use like a cloud-based type of communications, I believe. They have a desktop application and they have a mobile application that goes into your phone. So whatever you capture in terms of video footage, say you're using your phone to capture your own body motion or whatever, say you have a tripod in your house or outdoors or wherever, and you want to capture that motion that you see that they can do, and you're simulating that, it's going to be a limited amount of time that you can get that motion captured in terms of the data that you're going to send to their server. So that data will be sent, and then eventually you can download it back onto your computer and probably get the FBX file, and that FBX file will be able to be transferred into the motion capture data that will be used on Blender. If it's not FBX, it could also be another file type, which is, I forgot the file type for the Blender tool. I think it's BVH or something like that, but don't quote me on it because I'm not really that great with that file type. So let's move on. But that's that. But it's free to get the actual app on Steam. So I didn't get the app on Steam, I don't think, or maybe I did. I think that's the only way you can do it. So you go on Steam, you get it on Steam, and then it downloads to your PC. I'm not sure exactly how I got it, but I got it on my PC, but I never tried it. I will try it once I have the money to go for the full version or whatever levels that I'm trying to get, because I'm interested in using motion capture, so like I can create my more of like the animations and stuff like that outside of the fact of using the, what was I talking about before? Hold on one second. Mixamo. Yeah, Mixamo Fuse. So this Mixamo website, well, not Mixamo Fuse, because Mixamo Fuse is no longer Mixamo, it's Adobe Fuse. So let's go back. Sometimes I have a brain fart when I'm doing live because, hey, I'm only human. So let's go back. Let's see. What is it? Vox VR? I don't know. I didn't try that before. Still looking for that tool. And here goes Fuse Character Generator. Now, if y'all folks have tried Adobe Fuse, which is a character generator as well, which let me type that one out there for y'all folks. Let me get rid of Vecturi. I'll go back to Vecturi. I just want to limit some of this stuff. I'm gonna get rid of the Blender one. Get rid of, that's the live that's going on. I'll get rid of that one and get rid of that one, and we don't need Mixamo. All right, so hold on one second. Where was we at? All right, Adobe Fuse. Adobe Fuse. I'll talk a little bit about Adobe Fuse just to get this out of the airways. So Adobe Fuse, what is it? It's a character generator tool, very similar to MakeHuman, very similar to, they have a tool known as Manuel Bastioni Lab that's tied into Blender. There's a lot of different things. Actually, it's not tied into Blender, but it works on Blender as an add-on, the Manuel Bastioni Lab. So if you wanted it to be tied into Blender, literally you can tie it into Blender and you can generate characters straight out of Blender. You don't have to have a third-party software outside of Blender. So that's that tool. But there's a lot of different character generator tools. If you don't know how to make your own 3D avatars or 3D humans, you can do them. So that's what I cover a lot in my videos. I explore this stuff. I really try to go in depth so I can bring the best quality to the screen and help more and more people to learn how to use these tools. Because when I first started, it was a little bit of a slow process of learning because I didn't understand the background to 3D. So when you get into these tools, you may not understand how to use the files and how to transfer the files back and forth because you just don't understand the underlying building blocks of the knowledge that's required to understand the file types and stuff like that. So a lot of these tools are pretty easy, user-friendly. You have sliders like you see on the screen. You can adjust to it to do customizations. You can remodel parts of the body just to reshape it, contours and stuff like that. You can choose certain textures where the facial features will turn into a better looking facial feature to your liking. Better to your liking, pretty much. It won't be better than anything else that you've ever seen before. It's going to be better for your liking. Whatever you choose that you thought that you wanted to turn your character into, you can pretty much do it based on what they offer. So Adobe Fuse can do that for you. The thing with this is that you have to pay Adobe as part of the Creative Cloud. So you got to become a Adobe Creative Cloud member to get access to this tool. So if you don't become part of the Adobe Creative Cloud, then you would have to buy the tool separate. And I don't even recommend for you to do that. If you did that, probably do it for a month to try it out. If you did do it for a month, that would be smart. But if you want to do it, for like a year and just use this tool, you're gonna be losing out because Adobe has a huge suite of tools. So I recommend for y'all folks, if you want to go for the full version and you want it to last longer than a month, just become an Adobe character. Become an Adobe Creative Cloud member. It's really, really key in gaining tons of tools. You have so many tools, you probably will not learn all of them. There's so many of them. And that's what happened to me. And I'm going to get back to it because I stopped using it once I had like some bills that was crazy hectic and I had to handle all those bills. But I'll get back to it because I caught up on a lot of my bills and now I can do it. So that's that. If you don't want to go through all this payment options and having to deal with Adobe's payments, plan, what you can do is use the Fuse Character Creator type tool. And this was the original tool from Mixamo when Mixamo wasn't bought out by Adobe. So it says right here, Mixamo presents Fuse. It's pretty much an identical tool. The difference is that you cannot automatically synchronize through the Adobe cloud. They have more like a cloud-based tool and an auto sync. So you can't synchronize all of the content onto Mixamo.com for your animations. That's the difference. Adobe came up with a way to block out those who don't become part of the Adobe Creative Cloud and those who are not paying. When you go to the Mixamo website, let's go to Mixamo real quick. when you go to the Mixamo website and you log in, you can log in for free. You can create an Adobe account for free, but you're limited to not being able to synchronize your content. So your content won't auto sync. So when you go to Steam and you get this Mixamo Fuse actual tool, actually this one to me works better than the Adobe version, because there's much more clothing, there's much more assets, there's many more options in this tool. For some reason, the Steam one has more stuff on it, and it's free, 100% free. So this tool actually helped me to learn a lot in 3D, because I was forced to learn how 3D works in the background in terms of those file formats that I was talking about, mainly dealing with object files and how the object files work in conjunction with tools like Blender. So once you understand the basics to some of that stuff, you can start figuring out a lot of different things on Blender, and eventually learn how the 3D meshes work, how the assets work in terms of the different layers of textures, how the different texture maps work, diffuse map, this map, height map, bump map. Well, you're not going to get a height map for a human, a 3D human, but you know what I mean. You're going to get a lot of different data and information that you're going to have to use as an export from this software, or maybe from Adobe Fuse, and it will tie into Blender, or maybe you want to tie it into Mixamo to get the animation files, the FBX files. You know what I'm saying? So this is the kind of stuff that the average person probably won't know when they first start out, and won't know that these things are all tied together in conjunction with each other. They may not know the history of Mixamo and the fact that Adobe bought them out, and how Adobe blocks out certain information. So when you get over here, you try to get your FBX file, you move your OBJ file to Adobe, not Adobe, but to Mixamo.com, it's going to be lacking some data. So you're going to get a fully rigged character with no textures, no color, no life in it. It's basically going to be blank. I can show y'all folks that, but I have previous videos where I talked about it. I just want y'all folks to see in this live stream all the different things that you're probably going to be presented without realizing, and you're going to have to stumble over these things eventually to find out that you're limited to some degree in using some of these tools, depending on how you choose to use it. So stuff like this, like Live 3D or Vroid, you have to go into the documentation, you have to dig deeper into these tools to see if you can export some content out of it to tie it into places like Blender, maybe go into Vecturi, play around with Vecturi with character building, development, stuff like that. So I don't know about Live 3D. I didn't do the research on this tool in terms of the ability to export anything, so I'm not sure if you can do that. But look, it says support to upload MMD avatars. That's pretty dope. I didn't know that. So you can upload MMD avatars if you're into MMD, Miko Miko Dance. If you're not into it, type it into Google, I recommend, or YouTube, and check it out and see what people are doing. When they come up with their characters, some of them offer it for free, and for you to basically give credit to them with restrictions on their use, on the use of their characters. So just keep in mind there's licensing agreements and stuff like that on a lot of stuff out here. So you can't use everything to your own full extent unless you create your characters from scratch. Now, Mixamo gives you stuff for free. All of this stuff right here on Mixamo is free. Whatever you rig here is free. And pretty much I never really found anything in terms of licensing stopping you from using it in a full-fledged game or a full-fledged animation film footage, stuff like that. So that's pretty dope that they give you the ability to do that stuff. I don't know how long it's going to be free, but it's been pretty much free for a long time. When it first started out, when Mixamo first had this, they were actually charging a fee. So it was probably good for us as the average citizen, average 3D modeler / 3D artist or student in the arena to actually finally see what happened over time where Adobe bought them out. Because once they bought them out, it made the tool free, which is pretty dope. So we have pretty much a ton of animations in here. You can go in and click animations. You can check into all of it, and you can see there's tons of different things that your avatars can do. And a lot of these animations are in games and video games, because people in the past, maybe like 5 years ago when it first started, I don't know how long it started when they gave these for free, but once they let off with giving people access for free to it, everybody and their mom and their dad and cousins and uncles and aunts tried it. Whoever out there around the planet used it over time, and now they're able to use it in their games and stuff like that. I'm not sure if people are creating movies with it, because some of the animations are somewhat limited in terms of it just gives you that, and then you would have to tie in something that works with it in conjunction. That's why I want to use motion capture as opposed to this for like film footage, because I want to create a realistic live character or a realistic pre-recorded character that I can tie into my footage and be able to play a 3D avatar, 3D animated character that I created using probably Mixamo Fuse or using MakeHuman. If y'all folks are into any of those tools, you would know. So that's that. I just wanted to cover that. I don't know why I can't find Vroid, but this is the website for it, studio.vroid.com, and I don't know what happened. Maybe something happened to it on Steam, or maybe I'm just not finding it. I'll just keep digging. Let's keep digging. Hit the back arrow and see if I could find it. But hey, that would be a great loss if it's no longer on Steam. I think it's on Steam, it's just not coming up, because sometimes you search for stuff and you just don't find it for whatever reason. So let's see how many other people I got. We got 4 more people still watching. Do I have any comments? No comments yet. So feel free to comment if y'all folks have any questions as to any of the stuff I'm talking about, or anything in my live sessions that I choose to, bring up in terms of the content. That would be dope, because then I can interact off of that. Let's see. A lot of stuff says DLC. I don't see it in any of this stuff. Yeah, actually, let me just type into Google and then do Vroid and type in Steam. Let's see if that comes up. Steam search. It come up as Droid. That's not what it is. It's supposed to be Vroid. Maybe I should type it onto Google, onto YouTube. Let's type in on YouTube Vroid and see if it could be in somebody's comment section, not comment section, but what do they call it? The video description area. Let's go in through this guy. Ask NF. So this is Ask NF right here. He has a pretty good channel. One of the channels that I recently subscribed to, and he actually does this kind of video that I'm doing here. I don't think he does live streams yet, but he does, like, he covers many different subject matter in the 3D arena, and it's pretty dope what he brings out. So let's see. Here goes the studio.vroid.com website. He doesn't have the Steam version. Let's see what's up with this download. See. Okay, so if you wanted to get it, you can get the download from here. So I'll put this into my actual video description area as well for this video, so y'all folks can get it. But I believe the benefit of using Vroid as opposed to Whakairo is you can get a VRM, not as opposed to Whakairo, but in conjunction with Whakairo, you can get a VRM file, and from the VRM file you can use it to move it onto Blender, and I guess you have to prepare it a specific way, I'm not sure, or you can get it directly from the Vroid tool, and then you can try to merge it onto Whakairo and play that character that you created with Vroid. So they can work in conjunction with each other, which is pretty cool. But with Vroid you can do the same kind of thing with your avatar, where you can control your character with your webcam control. And what else can you can customize the character, you can create hair, you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with it. So other than that, that's all I got for that part. And I think I'm gonna end this live session because I have to feed my cats and I have to go to work. So getting myself ready for today, and to get myself and gear myself on to do other things. But I really do appreciate y'all folks for showing up, for choosing to watch my live stream sessions, my pre-recorded sessions, whatever sessions that I come up with on YouTube. I'm doing this not just for myself. I'm doing it for those who are choosing to watch my videos, covering things of knowledge that I'm starting to pick up over time, or things that I learned already. And whatever I run into, when I've run into a lot of things that have juicy knowledge or things that are really important that I think other people will want to know, I try to cover that stuff so y'all folks can learn about it. At least you can get abreast of the knowledge and try to locate that information, or that, you know, whatever content that you need to look for, and then you'll be able to access that and be able to utilize it in whatever fashion that you choose to use it. My usage of it is to help other people mainly, but eventually, like I said, I'm trying to build an animation studio in the future. So I want as much knowledge as I possibly can, so I gain knowledge from those who already been there. So I go into tons of YouTube videos like I showed y'all folks from my playlist, and I pour that knowledge in, and I keep watching and watching and watching and watching as many videos as I can. And of course, without a smartphone, none of this would be as possible, because you can't watch on the go without a smartphone, right? So thanks to these smartphones, you can watch whenever you want. So other than that, that's all I got. Joy, love, and peace to all. Mike Pugh signing off. I'll see y'all folks in the next live session, pre-recorded sessions. I'm out. Enjoy your day. Oh, feel free to subscribe. I forgot to say that. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, and feel free to smash that bell icon out of the universe if y'all folks want to get my latest. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, and feel free to smash that bell icon out of the universe if y'all folks want to get my latest. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Oh shoot, it's still on.